Hello, hello. Here I am going live again with you guys. I actually just felt really inspired to talk about this topic because of the fact that I was just on a really awesome webinar with a couple of my friends from over in Canada, and they were talking about tips to stay healthy during the holidays, and they talked about gut health, which gut health is actually probably one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to nutrition. Well, actually there's a lot, but it's definitely up there. And it's because personally, gut health has been one of the things that I've struggled with the most, and one of the things that I have had the most challenges and the most personal growth with when it comes to learning about nutrition, because of the fact that it's been trial and error. It's been years and years of doing different things and having to really commit to a different type of lifestyle in order to sort things out for my own personal gut health. And in that time, I've learned so many amazing things that, I get really excited about this topic. And so hello to those who are joining me live. Nice to see you. What's Facebook saying? New, put a mask to give yourself a fun look. Tap the magic wand. What the heck? This is just too strange. Oh, hey guys. Okay, we're not going to be doing this. I got distracted. Okay, back to gut health. Get out of here. Okay, go. There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that. So, gut health. Okay, so where do I even begin? I'm going to make this pretty quick because I don't want to be here for like a whole hour uni lecture with you guys. But I want to point out a couple of the favorite things that I know about gut health, and a few tips that you can take away with you as well. Particularly coming into this holiday season that we're moving into, it's a really good time to be aware of these things and to realize these things. Firstly, when we're talking about our gut health, we're talking about anything that starts here and ends on the other end. It's everything in between, which makes up a massive chunk of our body's organ systems. And they need so much love and care, and they do such a beautiful job for us. They honestly, like, if it wasn't for our digestive system, we wouldn't be here, because it's able to turn all of the food that we eat into the compounds that our body needs to keep us alive, to have our skin rejuvenating all the time and regenerating. Rejuvenating, sure, why not? Regenerating all the time. And our blood pumping and hair growth and all of these things start with our digestive system. And a couple of little fun facts for you guys. Roughly 70% of our immune system comes from the health of our gut. So our gut health and our immunity is directly related. This is absolutely a huge concept when you think about it, because a lot of people, when it comes to getting colds, they don't often think about looking at their digestive health. So if you do you do get the common cold quite often, a sore throat, you get sick easily, potentially your gut health is something worth looking at. And then another crazy stat, which again blows my mind, the gut is actually nicknamed the second brain because of how many functions it has and how many nerve endings it has. It's absolutely crazy. And even though serotonin, which is the hormone that we feel, the chemical that we feel in our body that makes us feel happy, it is a hormone that's within our brain. It comes from our brain. However, 90% of our serotonin levels are directly related to our gut health. So feeling happy is also related to gut health. So if there's any, if you do have trouble staying happy, if you are one of the many people who suffer with things like anxiety and depression, gut health is also something that's going to be really important for you to look at, alongside everything else, right? So to talk about gut health, obviously, like, it seems really easy. Obviously we need to feed it really good foods, but there's particular foods that our gut health that our gut really, really loves, and that's sort of the area that I'm gonna focus on just in this call, because like I said, I don't want to be on here for hours, which I could be, because I literally could talk for 6 hours underwater about this topic. And I took some notes so I'd stay focused. Hey Kate, thanks for joining. Firstly, there's different sort of theories, I guess, when it comes to healing gut health, and it also depends on sort of where you're at with your own personal gut health. But chances are that you're definitely in need of some loving for your gut, because the average lifestyle, modern society, really promotes a lifestyle that doesn't necessarily always agree with what our body actually wants and needs. And even if you are eating really, really well, sometimes what we actually need is we need to clean the slate completely before we can really get as good of gut health as we want. And so what I mean by that is sometimes we need to do a flush or a cleanse or a stint of time where we dramatically change our eating habits before we can sort of start to normalize it again. Because in order for our gut to be able to clean itself out and get back to a neutral state, it needs that kind of thing. It can't just do that through just adding healthy eating on top of whatever's going on within your gut at this stage. So that's why I'm huge on doing things that I know are really supportive of cleansing our gut. So one of those things is having a really high fiber diet. So fiber comes from foods, mostly vegetables, beans, legumes. Those kind of foods are really high in fiber. And what fiber does, it's a really, really cool little concept. Our body's amazing, right? One of the silly things our body does, though, and I think it's because obviously our bodies were designed so long ago when our diet was very different than it is now. So fiber was never an issue back in the day, but nowadays when fiber is in such low consumption for the majority of the population, it has become a bit of a problem, because our digestive system is so good at picking up nutrients out of the food that we eat, so our intestines, right? And once it goes into the colon, which is sort of the final stage of the large intestine before it leaves the body, there's some reabsorption that's done. So it absorbs more water, and it also part of what you can often tell how hydrated you are by the content of what's coming out. But as a nutritionist, you seem to talk about poop in almost every conversation, so sorry guys, it's gonna come up eventually. Hi Drew, hi Christina, nice to see you on. So where were we? Poop, that's right. So yeah, a lot of reabsorption happens. And what happens though if we don't have enough fiber is actually a lot of those toxic things that our body's trying to get rid of get reabsorbed. And it's a totally odd concept, but what fiber does is it actually encapsulates all of those nasty things that our body's really trying to excrete, because remember, this is one of the main ways our body's able to get those things out of our system that we don't want. So whether they come from the food that we're initially putting in, or whether our body's cleaning out things and trying to get it out through our digestive system as well. And then what happens is they get reabsorbed, because our colon's so good at reabsorbing things, if we don't have enough fiber. So one of the things that fiber does for us is it makes sure that all of those things our body's trying to get rid of actually leave our body. Okay, and once our body is able to do that on a more regular basis through what we're eating, because we're putting enough fiber into our diet that it's easily able to excrete that stuff, it can start looking at areas of your body where potentially toxins or more harmful substances are stored in our body, because we've had such a long period of time where we haven't had either enough nutrient support or enough fiber to excrete everything. So when that happens, when we have an overhaul of things our bodies don't want, it kind of starts to store it in locations where it will feel the most safe. So a lot of times, like our legs and our bums are the fats tissues around there is a really common place for our body to store toxins, and that's one of the reasons why people get cellulite as well. So when there's toxins stored in the fat in the legs, so you'll start to notice most likely over time with a high fiber diet, that's one of the things that can shift for you. So just a little nice side tip. So yeah, that's with fiber. I personally make sure that I have high fiber foods in my daily diet, but I'm human, like it doesn't happen every single day. So I also take a fiber supplement. I have one that I absolutely love. It's just flavorless, and I either add it into smoothies, or if I'm, whatever, not having a smoothie that day, I just mix it with some water and drink it. It's absolutely fine. There's no flavor to it or anything. It's just a powder, so it lasts for ages. And so, yeah, that's definitely what I would recommend as well. I didn't actually have that on my notes, but I realized how important fiber was, so there you go. And so that's part of cleaning out our system, right? Two other tips for cleaning out our system could be doing, again, this depends on your personal gut health, so you might need to have like a proper nutritional consultation, or see someone who can help you in this area to see if there's any overgrowth of bad bacteria that maybe might need some serious attention, which is what I had. I healed that all naturally, which has been really cool through my diet. And if that's the scenario, definitely you're going to have to do some sort of cleanse, where either you're going to have to cut out specific food groups that are triggers for you, and depending on what kind of issues going on within your digestive system, it's going to be likely different things, but you'll see a trend. Like it's a lot of times things like gluten, which isn't always bad. Like I noticed when I first had realized all these digestive problems, I realized gluten was a huge trigger for me, whereas once I started healing my gut, I realized it no longer is anymore. But I still go off it time to time, because I know that it gives my digestive system a little chance to, like a little break, right? So you might need to do a specific diet like that for a month, or maybe even up to 3 months or 6 months, depending on your current digestive situation. Or there are other programs as well that you can do to kind of just give your digestive system a rest, in which case when you do rest your digestive system, it just allows itself to clean out. It allows itself to focus on other things that it really would like to do for your body, but it doesn't have the time because it's so busy digesting all the crazy foods you're eating. With that, I do have a couple of programs that I can recommend for that as well. Like, I'm really big on doing these types of programs. They sometimes are about a week. I'm very picky with the kinds of programs I do recommend, though, because I'm not into diets. I'm not into fad trends that are just gonna like starve you for a week and then, put you in the same position afterwards. It's about actually helping your body reset its metabolism, get rid of cravings, learn some new things so that you can move on after that with your healthy new lifestyle. And yeah, so there's a couple of programs I can recommend. If you message me, I'm happy to share. And then I just actually finished a liver flush. So our liver is a huge component of our digestive health as well. And every now and then it's good to kind of flush that up, like same reasons for what I was just talking about. So I just did one of those, which I talked about the other day on my cleansing video. So it's really, really simple. It's just like, it's called a liver gallbladder flush or cleanse. You can just Google it. It's not the most pleasant thing to do, but actually it's really easy to do, and it has awesome benefits. So you can read up about that online. I won't go into that in any more detail, but yeah, I did the flush last night, and so today I'm sort of dealing with the after effects of that, but I'm feeling really good, so that's cool. And I thought it was perfect timing with the new year around the corner. So my last little tips, and again, I know I've been talking for ages, 13 minutes, oh my gosh, look at me. I just can't stop talking about this topic, it's so cool. I don't let my nutritionist side out on my videos very often, but here you go, guys, special treat. Other things you can do to help your digestive system, to fuel your digestive system and to show it some loving, is have fermented foods. So I can't go on enough about how amazing fermented foods are. These include things like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, which if you follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, you'll know I'm a huge kombucha lover. We brew our own kombucha and we buy local kombucha. It's just so awesome. And the cool thing about making your kombucha is usually you can like post in a like a local buy sell swap page or something on Facebook and find someone who has a kombucha SCOBY and start making it for free, and you literally just need tea, sugar, and a SCOBY. So it's really easy to make. And my friend has a really good video as well where she takes you through a tutorial, so ask me if you want that. And then also the two other things that I'm going to talk about right now that contribute to our digestive health are our stress levels. So stress has really negative effects on our digestive system. The best tip that I can give you on this video, like maybe this is a topic we can talk about another time, but the best tip for that would be just taking time for a little bit of mindfulness. Even if you just when you're starting to feel really stressed, take 3 deep belly breaths. So real deep into your belly and hold it for a couple of seconds before you breathe out really slowly in through your nose and out through your nose, out through your mouth, whatever you feel most comfortable, both will do. Those take you into a state of relaxation straight away, your body, okay? So I recommend doing that multiple times throughout the day, particularly if you have really busy days. So even if it's only when you can go to the bathroom that you're able to remind yourself to do that, make sure you're taking those deep breaths, because it will bring you back into a more relaxed state straight away. And then talking about that mindfulness eating as well. This is a concept that I've been learning more. So there's the level of mindfulness eating to when we just, think a little bit more about what we eat, but then as well when we start to think a lot more about what we eat as well, you start to realize the impact that it has on your health and your digestive system. So in this video, all I'm going to say regarding that is just, start to educate yourself on different things. If there's some gray areas for you and you really do want to work on your digestive health and your overall health, then potentially, ask someone, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to have a chat about it as well. But reach out and talk about, what things are potentially gonna be really beneficial for you to include in your diet and what things aren't, and maybe why. And as you educate yourself, I feel like it becomes easier to make those decisions. I always say there was like a time in my life when I literally could not imagine not having a sugar craving. Like I've never experienced not craving sugar because I was such a sweet tooth. I literally, when I decided, like, if I was like, okay, I'm not having sugar this week or this month, it was like deprivation for me. Sorry. By the way, side note, I learned English is my second language, and I learned English off my German parents, who also English is their second language. So sometimes my words just don't make any sense, but try not to judge me too much. Anyway, so I felt totally deprived when I was going off because I just, I wanted it. And the more that I learned about this as well, it's a massive addiction. Sugar is a massive addiction. It has actually more addictive properties, or it's, the process that our brain goes through when we eat sugar is the same or similar to what it does when we have cocaine. So yes, super addictive. And my point with that was that as I started to work on my mindfulness with eating, I started to realize that there came a point when suddenly I actually didn't even feel like chocolate. Like it could be in front of me on the table, cakes and everything that I used to think was amazingly delicious, which I still have from time to time, but different versions of it now. I literally had no sensation to eat it, and I did not ever think that I would get to that stage in my life. And it's really just, it's been cool because now I enjoy myself. Like I feel the same satisfaction and excitement and joy from eating different foods, but they're way more nutritious for my body. And so it's really cool how you can start to shift the way you actually feel. Like, so I literally don't feel deprived of things, which is quite cool. I feel awesome. So you'll get to that stage eventually if it's something that's important to you. But yeah, just try to think about what you're eating rather than just picking something up and putting it in your mouth, even if it's 2 seconds, and you say to yourself, this is what I'm going to be eating right now. Just that little amount. Anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking around for this video. I hope it's been interesting for you guys and you've learned something. Like I said, it's a topic that I love talking about, as you can tell. So I'm always happy to chat with you guys if you do have questions. I'd love it if you guys get engaged in the comments as well if you do have any questions regarding what I talked about. Otherwise, I will see you online tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye!